Hey everybody, it's me, professional grass toucher, Jake. And today, I'm outside in the very beautiful weather, and it looks great outside. I was out walking, even brought my camera here to take some really nice pictures of just how beautiful everything is today. It's gorgeous, the temperature's great, everything is good. But that's not why I'm here to talk today. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Switch 2. The thing everybody is mad about. Look how beautiful it is here. It's a perfect day to go touch grass. I mean, even though it's like 5 in the afternoon or whatever, it's a perfect day to go touch grass and take pictures too. In fact, we're going to do that right now. Nice. That's going to look good when it's developed, because this is a film camera. So let's talk about the Switch 2. So lately, everybody on the internet has been freaking out about the Switch 2, like, oh my god, the Switch 2 is $450. Well, let me tell you something. This is why I'm making this video, because the thing with the Nintendo Switch 2 is, first of all, you're gonna buy it at $450. Now, everybody is complaining about the Switch 2. They're like, oh my god, $450 is really expensive and stuff. That's a lot of money. Well, let me tell you something. $450 ain't that expensive. You know how much the PS5 Pro is? $700. You know how much a nice GPU is? It's basically the price of a used Nissan Altima on Facebook Marketplace. Or some other beater car. That's how much GPUs cost now. I mean, look, AMD's cheapest GPU is $599 US. That's how much that GPU is now. $599 US, and that's a lot of money, okay? And then you look at how much NVIDIA's GPU is. It's even more expensive. It's really, really expensive. It's a lot of money. Okay, you see all these GPUs, they cost so much money these days. And then you see the Switch 2, it's only $450. Look, it's not that expensive. It's actually more powerful than the Steam Deck is, because I went to some AI thing and I plopped in which has more flops, and it said the Switch 2 has more flops than the Steam Deck does. I don't know what flops mean. I think that means it's faster or something, but the Switch 2 is it's faster than the Steam Deck. I mean, sure, you can't play certain kinds of games on the Switch 2, but the thing with the Switch 2 is it's got Fortnite. The Steam Deck, you got to install Windows for Fortnite, and then also the Switch 2 has all your favorite Nintendo games. It's got all your favorite Nintendo waifus, all your favorite Nintendo characters in them. You just put that thing on there, and you can just put your Nintendo Switch games in and play them on there, and it's got your Nintendo waifus on them and stuff. I mean, you can't get that on the PS5 or the Xbox Series X or whatever. I mean, what do you get on the Series X? I'll tell you what you get on the Series X and PS5. You get stuff like that new Marathon game that came out. Did you see how that game looks? How that game has that, like, corpo slop look to it? How, like, there's about a million different clashing colors to distract you from the fact that there ain't waifus in Marathon or whatever? And they literally called the name of an old Mac game that people liked. I mean, that's how it is. They literally reused the name of some very old FPS. It was a cult hit. And you can download it for free, by the way. Go to, like, Aleph 1, just look that up, and you can download the good marathons. And then you look at the new Marathon. It's not even the same game. They just took the name from it. And it might as well have much in common with the Marathon games as Marathon the gas station has with Marathon, and that's what you get on the other guys. But on the Nintendo system, you get your Pokemon, you get your Mario, you get your Zelda. You've got all the familiar games in your comfort zone. And sure, you might complain, oh, it's the same game. What do you get with Marathon? You get slop. You get slop with the PS5. You get like that Assassin's Creed game. You get like Concord. You get Marathon. You get slop. But with Nintendo, you get Nintendo games. And that's a step above slop, to be honest. I mean, that's all those companies care about. They only care about making slop. That's a fact. But here's the most important thing about the Switch 2. And this is something that nobody else says. you're going to buy it anyway. That's not a joke. You're going to run to GameStop, you're going to get in your car, you're going to drive out and buy a Switch 2. Now, you might be thinking, oh my god, the Switch 2 is expensive, in your Discord voice or whatever. And let me tell you something. You're going to buy it anyway. You're literally going to go take the money and buy Switch 2. And you might be asking yourself, why? Well, it's very important. It's because the thing is, everybody buys every Nintendo system. Doesn't matter how the economy is, or if you're just doing performative outrage on the internet. Just going on your Twitter and making a video or post about how this is outrageous to farm those clicks. The truth is, you're still going to buy it. Remember the 3DS? Remember the Wii U? Especially the 3DS, people bought that thing. The Wii U, there were still diehard Nintendo fans who bought it, and they will tell you a different version of history as the history according to Nintendo. That's what they're going to tell you, and it's going to be that the Wii U is this great system that everybody was trying to take down. All the journalists and Microsoft and Sony hitmen were trying to take down the absolutely perfect Wii U. That is what people tell each other on the internet, and that's the thing. People are still going to go out and buy the Switch 2. People are complaining about it now. People are going to say, it's got no games. And yet this guy I know, he's buying a Switch 2 just to run his Switch games in higher resolution and all that stuff. He even said he'd rather buy it instead of a Steam Deck. That's not a joke. That's not an exaggeration. The funny thing is, I don't even own a Switch 1. I could care less about the Switch 1, and I'm probably not going to be buying a Switch 2, but I know there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to be buying it. They're complaining now, but let me tell you something to watch out for, in case you're skeptical of me. Look how many people are going to have GoFundMes. They're going to open up commissions. They're going to be doing emergency mutual aid drives on Blue Sky. They are going to be absolutely asking for money just to get a Switch 2. They might not say it. They might say something else. But the truth is, they want a Switch 2, and they're going to be buying a Switch 2. I knew people back in the day who would take their rent money, right? And they would just spend their rent money on a Nintendo Switch and games for it, and they would say, I need help. I can't afford rent, or I can't afford rent. I can't afford rent. I just can't. I'm seriously in need of money to pay my rent. I can't afford rent. And this person was literally racking up money on spending money on furry commissions and spending money on a Nintendo Switch and games for it. And this person had a job, and it was just spending the money on the Switch instead. And that's going to happen with the Switch 2. You're going to see people open up emergency begathons just to get it. That's what they're going to do. And I am not joking, I am not exaggerating, because it happens all the time. When the new Pokemon game comes out, you always see artists opening up commissions and stuff. That is going to happen again with the Switch 2. And that's the cold, hard truth. Everybody's complaining about the Switch 2. You're going to buy it anyway. You're going to go out to GameStop, you're going to go to Amazon, you're going to buy that. Period. That's just the way things are, gamers. And that's how the Switch 2 is going to be. You're going to buy Switch 2. You're going to buy it, okay? You're going to write a comment about how the Switch 2 is expensive. You're going to film a video complaining about how expensive it is and how it's outrageous. But when push comes to shove, the only reason you don't have your pre-order down is because of the tariffs. And if those weren't a factor, you'd have already had your pre-order down, and you'd be waiting for that thing to come out. And you'd be switching all day long. You'd be playing that Switch 2 all the time. You'd be playing it at your job at McDonald's or something in the break room. That's what you'd be doing. And that's exactly what's going to happen with the Switch 2. People are just going to say how expensive it is, but mysteriously they'll either come up with the money or they'll find some way to come up with the money. You ever see addicts ever run out of money? Exactly. Exactly. They always find ways to make money, and it's going to be the same with Switch 2. That's all that needs to be said. You're still going to buy Switch 2 anyway. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.